Madhava Kunja the volume of this mic. नाम संकीर्तन की So we are studying the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Last Sunday we completed almost half of it. This is the acronym to that. You can switch off the echo. You can switch off the 4-number mic. You can let the 10-0 number mic remain. So the acronym to this chapter was Rupa. Why Rupa? Because Krishna is displaying the Vishwarupa. Okay, he's displaying the Vishwarupa. That's why the acronym is given as Rupa. These acronyms are coming from the book of His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj when he was Sutapa Prabhu. That time he had written that book. So these acronyms are from his book. So R stands for request. Krishna, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, you please reveal the. If you feel that I am eligible, I can behold your universal form. मैं देख पाऊंगा. If I can sustain your universal form, then please reveal. Then Krishna displays his universal form. Then Arjuna offers prayers, and then again he requests him to show his two-handed form, that is the armed form, two-handed. So Krishna in the 10th chapter says, Ekam stena stito jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So Arjuna, Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord, so he has full faith in the words of the Lord, right? But there would be some skeptics, there would be some doubters who will say, कृष्ण ने 82 opulences के बारे में कहा, but दिखाया थोड़ी. कहने के लिए तो कोई कुछ भी कह सकता है. कि मैंने कोई बैठे बैठे बोल सकता है कि मैंने कुछ बुर्ज खलीफा बनाया. But actually थोड़ी ना, he is a structural engineering behind that, on the map of the entire plan of the building, his name is not there. So Krishna, to prove those doubters wrong, or to give them a proof of evidence, and to prove the divinity of Krishna, Arjuna is requesting Krishna that you please display your universal form to me. So, although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot, he pervades and supports the entire universe. Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all pervading form. Thus, after two introductory verses, Arjuna asks Krishna to reveal his universal form. Anything that you remember from last Sunday before I go ahead? If systematically told, that will be very helpful. But in the flow of the chapter, एक्चुअली फ्लो ऑफ द चैप्टर में तभी आप बोल पाएंगे जब आप पढ़ेंगे उसे, तभी आपको याद रहेगा कि हाँ ये मैंने इस सीरीज में इस फ्लो में कहा गया है. दैट इज हाउ यू डू से. सो एनीथिंग दैट यू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम लास्ट संडे? यस, प्रथम प्रभु. प्रथम will always go pratham first, right? Go ahead. He sits also always ahead. You completely abide by your name, pratham. Right, right. So yeah, he did not have the vision to see it. He was having prem chakshu. He did not have the Krishna gave him the divya chakshu to see his universal form. Okay, he showed the Vishwarupa and the Kalrupa. What is the difference between Vishwarupa and Kalrupa? Was Kalrupa only for those people who are sinful? What does the word Kal mean? Time. So Kalrupa was showing that with the effect of time, everybody is going to go to the graveyard. People who are young, having nice, smooth skin, eventually get wrinkles. Okay, people who have good eyesight eventually may get spectacles. People who have all 32 teeth, maybe one, two, three will fall out, and one day all will be out. And eventually, people who have jet black hair will become gray haired or old. And everybody is driven to the graveyard. And that graveyard, or the mouth of graveyard, is the Kala Rupa, right? In which everybody is going with effect of time. It is the so Krishna is saying that with effect of time, everything will get destroyed. And Vishwarupa was the entire creation of the material world. So yeah, Kalrupa and Vishwarupa. Not just for sinful people. Kalrupa is not just, even pious people will have to face the effect of time, death. What else? Hmm. So that the form was also visible to the Devi Devtas. He showed that. Okay, what else did we discuss? Yeah. Yeah, so Krishna's universal form is not at all attractive for the devotees. Arjuna was not fascinated by looking at the universal form of the Lord. Arjuna was in fact scared at looking at the universal form of the Lord. He was not fascinated. Universal form, as I was mentioning, that Prabhupada mentioned, it's a godless display of opulences. Godless display of opulences. It is like too many opulences in one place. And the devotee of the Lord is never attracted by all these opulences. You know? In fact, devotee of the Lord is not attracted only by opulences. It just takes us as whether, like yesterday I was hearing a lecture by Narottam Prabhu when he was sharing That how people have opulences, but sometimes they do not want that opulence also. Like he was mentioning the example of Gaur Gopal Prabhu, and he was saying that he's a brahmachari, he's a monk in the temple, but he cannot walk out alone into an airport. People will, mob him. He has to directly go to the airport and directly go inside the lounge. वो वाला lounge नहीं जहाँ पे आप अपने HDFC का कार्ड लेके जाते हैं अडानी में. वो वाला lounge नहीं. It's properly a lounge. जहाँ पे आपको दिखता नहीं एयरपोर्ट से. मतलब it doesn't. You don't pass through that also. That kind of a lounge. He has to directly go and sit in that lounge. Just imagine a sadhu, saffron, sitting in a lounge. Travel by a private jet. कोई सोचेगा अरे क्या बात कर रहा है private jet. My God. It's an austerity because continuously you have to you're completely enamored by the fame and the luxury and the opulence that is given. But actually, you want to renounce those things, but it's there in front of you. You cannot. You have to use it to be peaceful. Otherwise, you'll be mocked. Just imagine Gaur Gopal Prabhu going in a local train. Imagine, look, he will not be able to go into the train only. होता है ऐसे. Like they had gone to Delhi recently, and Amog Leela Prabhu was there. Amog Leela Prabhu was also very famous. No? As soon as he came down from the stage, people, Prabhuji, 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 selfie, selfie, selfie. Girls also coming everywhere. Prabhuji, 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 selfie, Prabhuji, Prabhuji. Can you say no? You cannot say no. You understand? So, thank you. You know, Prabhuji. And eventually, in the end of the day, we saw him running and going. मतलब मंदिर से भाग के जा रहे थे. He got out of the temple running, and he went भाग के किसी डिवोटी भाग के जब तो लोग पकड़े नहीं उनको. It's fame, but sometimes becomes a headache. अरे छोड़ दो यार. You know. So the devotees of the Lord are not devotees of the Lord is not attracted by such a opulence. This Vishwarupa form is more for those who are atheists or like the scientists who don't believe in the Lord, but they are very enamored by how the creation happened. They study from the micro to the macro, right? From macro to micro, they study each and every atom, they study each and every manifestation. They get enamored by how come in one place from sitting over here I cannot even see what is happening on moon. Krishna sitting on the chariot can see what is happening in all 14 planetary systems. How is it possible? So it's more of attracting for those who are non-believers. Who are non-believers. इसलिए तो अर्जुन रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है ना. अर्जुन तो is he's already accepts Krishna as Supreme Lord, but he is requesting Krishna to reveal the Vishwarupa so that though non-believers they believe that yes, Krishna is Supreme Lord. Non-believers they believe, and we all, including myself, we are all non-believers. That's why we are here. We are not some special people. We are not some special people, na? Because we don't even carry Bhagavad Gita copies to Sunday class. Nor do we read 11 chapters. Still, it is completed. Huh? So we are still non-believers. If we are believers, we'll be sincere about what we are doing because we believe in it, right? You go to your job like Sunny works in an Indigo airline. Can you go to the job without a Indigo uniform? You have to go. You have to believe in that profile. You have to believe in that job. Anyway, how many of you have a laptop given by the company? Anybody goes without a company laptop to a company? सर आज नहीं लाया सर. क्यों नहीं लाया? बस सर डायरेक्टली आया कहीं से नहीं लाया. We believe in the process. We believe in the system, and that's why we carry things with us. But here we do not believe. We don't have complete faith in this. Hence, we take it very lightly. Let's go. It's okay. कोई बात नहीं. एक बार बोलेंगे उसका तो प्रसाद देंगे. वही तो खाना है मेन. उसके लिए तो जा रहा है. So, yes, belief is not there. For the non-believers, Krishna is displaying the Vishwarupa for the non-believers. Okay. I said that. Did I say that at the beginning of the parampara? So necessary to display the ritual. I mentioned that I mentioned the evening session that Arjuna is the first student of the Bhagavad Gita, and there was a break in the disciplic succession. That's why Krishna speaks again. Why did I say it in the this section last Sunday's afternoon session? You can check the recording. फिर आगे आ जाइए. अभी क्या है कि देर आर थ्री सेशन सैटरडे इवनिंग संडे आफ्टरनून एंड संडे इवनिंग पता नहीं चलता कौन से लेक्चर में क्या बोला बट आई इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग आई कैन मेंशन दैट yeah so that is bringing up Mayank's point. He's saying that hey, the Vishwarupa form is more meant for uh, those who are non-believers of those who don't believe in the existence or those who don't believe in Krishna being the supreme lord. So Arjuna is saying that my illusion is dispelled. Moha ayam vipito nama. He's saying my illusion is dispelled. There's no longer Arjuna. So why is his illusion dispelled? Because he no longer thinks Krishna as his friend or a human being. He considers Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. That's why his illusion is. But he also wants to put across the divinity of Krishna to the rest of the world, to everyone. आपको वहां से दिख रहा है? So he wants to put across the divinity to the whole world. That's why he's asking question over here. I desire to see your universal form. Drishtam ichhami te rupam. If your ichha is there, you show me the rupam, you show me the form. You know. Otherwise, it's fine. If you think that I can behold, manyase yadi tachakyam maya drishtam iti prabho. If you think that I can behold this form, then you display it to me. That's why Prabhupada mentions in the purport of the fourth verse is that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor perceive the Supreme Lord Krishna by material senses. So, by material vision, you cannot see him. By material vision, you cannot see the Supreme Lord. Like I gave an example last time. If you go to 3D movie, you need to see the 3D movie. Similarly, that's why Arjuna was also given the vision to see it. So our mundane senses are like that. It gives us a अगर 3D मूवी देखना है आप स्पेक्स निकाल दोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा पिक्चर बहुत इजी हो जाएगा सिमिलरली आवर senses our material senses our mundane senses are like that everything looks very unclear hazy picture but when the god gives you the eyes you can see it you can see it okay. That's why then we read certain things from the purport of the fourth verse. If you have your Gita copies you can open that 11.4 प्रणव जगूजा बैग लाए हो बुक नहीं लाया कोई बात 11.4 if you can open 11. I'm just retaliating on some points that we discussed last Sunday because they're important. If you remember them, that is very important. If you think that I am not able, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited form. He says one can neither see or hear purport nor perceive the Supreme Lord Krishna by material senses, but if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. A few lines down, a couple of lines down. Arjuna, as a devotee, does not depend on his speculative strength. If you go back to your Secret of Success seminar, your respective Secret of Success seminar, जब आप लोग ने attend किया होगा, it's all speculative, right? आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारा speculation हुआ, कौन है भगवान, क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ, क्यों होता है मेरे साथ. So we were all dependent on speculative strength, but Arjuna is not dependent on that. Arjuna is not dependent on the speculative strength. Then little down. Rather, he admits his limitations as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's inestimable position. He admits that as a living entity, I have a limited capacity, and Krishna has unlimited capacity, inestimable position. But sometimes you may think, "Arey, I am so minuscule, I am so minute, I am so finite. How can I understand the infinite?" So, as Prabhupada dimensions over your reflections. If the infinite, from here, if the infinite reveals himself, then it is possible to understand the nature of the infinite by the grace of the infinite. So if the infinite is able to reveal to you, then the finite can understand what is the position of the infinite. Therefore, Arjuna pleads for inconceivable grace of Krishna. He's pleading. He's not demanding. He's not saying, "Arey bhai, dikha do." I'm telling you, na, mujhe dekhna hai. So he is pleading that please show me. So that's the first thing, request. Okay. That brings us to the second thing, which is universal form. Okay. So when Arjuna sees that somebody is when Krishna is seeing that somebody is surrendering, like Arjuna, he is ready to reveal to him. Okay. That's why he is requesting. Like if you go in any field, so the mood is very important. So that was the first topic, request. So we have to also understand, if you want to understand God, then we should have the right mood in which we should know the right mood in which we should go. Yesterday I was discussing second chapter with the evening batch. There also, when Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, Krishna is testing Arjuna that why you want to surrender to me? Why you want to accept me as a teacher? You accept Vyasdev, you accept somebody else, some people who you really look up to. Why me? He's testing him. But Arjuna is still being humble. He's saying, you only know me better. I have spent my entire childhood with you. There's nobody else who knows me better than you. So he's being humble and he's requesting Krishna to accept him as a disciple. Again, in the fourth chapter, same thing is mentioned. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashyana sevaya. Again over here, Arjuna, when he wants to say, अभी the fourth के बाद पूरा 10th तक आ गया. Conversation has come right in the middle of the discussion. Half of the discussion has happened. Still, he doesn't gain pride. He doesn't lose. Sometimes, when you become very accustomed to someone, you become casual, right? You become casual. होता है ना? Sometimes you may spend a lot of time with one professor. Sometimes the professor may sit with you also and have a samosa in the canteen. Then you may say, "अरे ये तो मेरे जैसा ही है." Then you become very casual. Arjuna is understanding that, boss, I was previously behaving like this, but actually this guy is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not just Chief Minister, Prime Minister, and the President of US. He is Supreme Person. Okay? So he's very careful in dealing. He's requesting. Uh, he's requesting Krishna that please reveal. Like if you go in any field of subject matter, as I was mentioning last time, you go to learn Bharatnatyam or any field, you have to be submissive to the teacher. You have to accept that the teacher knows more than me. You have to accept that you are at a lower position and the teacher is at a higher position. You have to accept that. Then only the teacher will be able to teach you. Otherwise, just like you stand outside, outstanding student. मेरे साथ हुआ था इसलिए मेरे को याद है बराबर से. When I was in my school, this is what happened to me. Standing outside the class. So the right attitude is required for gaining knowledge, like Arjuna requested Krishna. He said, Krishna, if it is possible, if it pleases you, please kindly reveal your opulences to me. Uh, you cannot expect. I was mentioning last time that you cannot expect to go to the spiritual world and kick the door of the spiritual world and it's like, this is my degree. I've come here. Open the door. And I gave a quote from the Bible that only the meek and humble can inherit the kingdom of God. This is also mentioned. Only the meek and humble. So humility is utmost important. Okay. And then, as Pratham was mentioning, that Krishna gave celestial eyes to Arjuna. So Arjuna can already see lovingly the eternal two-handed form of Krishna. He has prema chakshu. Now Krishna gives him celestial eyes, eyesight of demigods to see universal form. Arjuna needed to downgrade himself. Okay. Arjuna needed Ashish. Arjuna needed to downgrade himself. He needed to downgrade himself. Okay. We'll discuss this today. How the two-handed form of the Lord is actually more higher than the universal form, you know. Sometimes people will think, yeah, what is the big deal? वो आता है ना, मैं तो देखता हूँ दिन भर, दुर्योधन ने भी देखा था, शकुनी ने भी देखा था, धृतराष्ट्र ने भी देखा था, सबने देखा था, like what is so great about it? So it'll come ahead. And why did Krishna show the universal form? If anybody would ask, like, why did Krishna show the universal form? If somebody today says that, मैं भी भगवान का अवतार हो, या मैं भी भगवान हूँ, you can ask, you can tell them, थोड़ा दिखाइए मुझे, मैं अर्जुन बनता हूँ, I surrender to you. You can say that, I'll become your disciple, you show me the Vishwarupa. होते हैं ना लोग ऐसे, कहते हैं मैं भगवान का अवतार हूँ, कल की अवतार मैं ही हूँ, वो कहते हैं ऐसा. There are many people who say like that, कलयुग का अवतार मैं ही हूँ, ऐसे कहते हैं. So Arjuna wants to reveal the Krishna's reality for others. So he wants Krishna to show the universal form. Those who claim that they are God must show the universal form to prove their claim. A pure devotee in transcendental loving service, loving relationship with Krishna is not attracted to the universal form, as some people mentioned. And then Krishna displays. He says, "Now you see my opulences. Okay, behold these wonderful things. I had shown this Vishwarupa to Duryodhana also. I had shown little bit of Vishwarupa to Mother Yashoda also, the Brahman. But this is exhaustive. इसमें वो सब है जो उसमें नहीं था. ठीक है, ये पूरा पूरा पार्ट है. Okay, it is not like one or two part sections of it. It's the complete full thing. You can see everything in this. Everything in this. All the 8.4 million species, all the chara, achara, moving, non-moving things, you can see everything in this. And Arjuna was able to witness, sitting in one place, he was able to, acha, that is, sitting in one place, he was able to witness everything that was there. Okay, like 11.8. If you come to 11.8, yeah. But Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statements. Yeah, you can read from that. The fact is, the fact is that the devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishwarupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statement so that in the future people could understand that Krishna is not only theoretically or philosophically presented himself as supreme, but actually presented himself as such to Arjuna. It is for the people of future. And future mein hum log hai bhai. We are the future of that past that they were talking about. So सिर्फ theoretically और philosophically नहीं बोला, गीता बोल दी, ओह कृष्णा बहुत ही, he's such a knowledgeable person, he spoke the Gita, and so theoretical में अच्छा बताया, so many opulences, amongst the mountains I am Meru, amongst the rivers I am Ganges, amongst the beast I am lion, amongst the priest I am Brihaspati, all these things that he mentions, 82 opulences. Not just that, he so बोला भी नहीं किया भी, करके भी दिखाया. So it was for the people of the future which we are in right now. So people may say, okay, yes, Krishna spoke to Arjuna. He is the opulence of all creatures in this world. How do we know he is really? So that hence then Krishna proves it, and he displays the Vishwarupa and the Kalarupa. So the verses 10 to 19, they display the Vishwarupa from the top of the universe to the bottom of the. See the Vishwarupa actually, the lowest part of the there used to be a Goloka chart. In that Golok chart, if you see that at the bottom there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from which Nadi Kamal Brahma comes out, and then the 14 planetary systems are there. So Prabhupada mentions right from the bottom of the universe to the top of the universe, Arjuna was able to see everything, everything, sitting in just one place. Sitting in just one place, he was able to see everything that is there. Okay, everything. And as I mentioned, Kala Rupa, like Shivam was mentioning about Kal Rupa. So by the effect of time, everything will be destroyed by the effect of time. So he showed the Kal Rupa. And then one more example last time I gave was we see some insects in the night on the light. They are born at 10 o'clock and die at 4 o'clock. In front of us only. 10 बजे बड़े हुए, 11 बजे ग्रेजुएशन हुआ, 12 बजे शादी हुआ, 1 बजे बच्चे हुए, 2 बजे उनकी शादियाँ हुई, 3 बजे हम लोग रिटायर हुए और 4 बजे निकल गए. In our 6 hours, their entire life cycle is finished. That is how we are in front of Brahma. 311, 40 billion years. This is how we are in front of Brahma. 70 years versus 311.40 billion years. कर लो आप divide. This is how it is. 70 years में बोलते रहता हूँ, but average life span भी 70 years नहीं है आजकल. This is how we are. So minute. Still we don't carry a Bhagavad Gita copy on Sundays. Right? So this is what it is. 10 to 19 chapter, Arjuna witnesses the universal form. And then the 20th, 19th and the 20th verses, Arjuna describes his vision of the Kal Rupa, the form of time, how Lord wishes all material entities into destruction. Everybody is pushed into destruction by the Kal. The Krishna displays universal form. Arjuna saw that form, the effulgence of the universal form. Everything in the universe is seen at one place. Arjuna sees it. Uh, Sthanam Jagat Krishnam. So it was just at one sthanam, it is just at one place that he sees everything. And then finally, Arjuna bows down in the 14th verse. He's bowing down, and he's actually now, see, he's in which ras? Which ras is Arjuna in? Ras means juice. Huh? Sakhya ras. He's friend. He's a friend of the Lord. But that time when he's seeing the universal form of the Lord, he is scared and he's bowing down. So he's getting very much fearful. He's getting very much fearful. He's developing bhai, fear, bhayanaka rasa. So he moves from sakhya ras to bhayanaka rasa. Okay. And that's why he's bowing down, and he's showing his establishment. He's showing his astonishment and wonderment. He's wondering, wow, what, I'm surprised looking at such a form. And last Sunday I mentioned about the five primary verses, rasas that Krishna engages in, and then 7 are secondary rasas, and Bhayanaka rasa is secondary rasa. The Virya rasa is there. There is also a secondary rasa. The rasa in which Bhishma Pitama wants to fight with Arjun. Sorry, Krishna. Virya rasa. Bhakt hai na? Just imagine the devotee wants to fight with the Lord. That's his Virya rasa. Veer hai. Virya rasa. He wants to fight. So this is how he mentions this. And I was mentioning that we also experience such kind of rasas. Sometimes we have a good relationship with somebody, that's like mango juice. And sometimes we may not have very good relationship with somebody, that's like bitter gourd juice. Right? Bitter gourd समझते हो? लौकी. Bitter gourd is Karela. Bitter gourd is Karela. It's bitter. It's not very. So वैसे these uh, different rasas Krishna engages in with his devotees. Then that brings us to the third discussion. This was what we were into. We discussed a few verses and then we moved ahead. So 15 to 18 verses are Arjuna's realizations upon seeing the Vishwarupa. Upon seeing Vishwarupa, what Arjuna realizes. 19 to 25, Arjuna's description about the Kalrupa. He gives a little description about Kalrupa. Arjuna sees the future outcome of the war in 26 to 30th verses, and 31st, Arjuna seeks, ask who you are. So I exactly stopped on 31st verse, 11.31, if you remember. And the next verse was, what was the next discussion? Huh? Kalo Asmi. Okay, he talks that time I am. Okay. So then in this verses he mentions this that, dear Lord, I see Pashami Devam Stava Devade. I see all the demigods in your. I see all the devtas. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower. I see Indra, Charana, Varuna. Everybody I see. I see Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Karnadakshay Vishnu, Shivakshay Vishnu. I see everybody in just one body of yours. Unlimited bellies, unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes. Easy. He says, I see all these things. This is what he's mentioning. His realization he's mentioning in these verses. Then he's like, it is very difficult for me to even hold your glowing personality. You're the oldest person. He's saying, Sanatanastvam Purusho Mato Me. He's saying, you are the oldest person. Oldest. Like if you read the 18th verse, he's saying, you are the supreme primal objective, you are the ultimate resting place of all this universe, you are the inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of God. This is my opinion. Okay. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and sun and moon are your eyes. Sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, bringing this entire universe by your own radiance. Bringing this entire universe by your own. So Arjuna is displaying, Arjuna is giving description about the form that he is saying. And then he speaks about the Kala Rupa. Anadi Madhyantam. He's saying Anadi Madhyantam. You have no origin, no middle, and no end. Blazing fire emanating from you. You spread throughout. Demigods and sages are offering you prayers. Demons are running away looking at your form. Here it comes. Demons are running away looking at your form. All are looking at you with full astonishment. All planets and demigods are agitated. They are getting restless. They don't know what they are supposed to do. They are all getting agitated. Okay. मुझे भी डर लग रहा है. I am also fearful. He's saying. I am also scared. Very very. So 25th verse he expresses that. Yeah, 25th verse he says, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing, death like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. In all directions. Jahan bhi dekh raha hu, I'm just getting bewildered. I'm not able to understand what I'm supposed to do. So, in 11.7, Arjuna, that he can see whatever he wishes. Krishna told Arjuna that you can see whatever you wish that you want to see. That indicates see in my body the future victory and defeat in this war also. See the future also. It's not just ke abhi ka cheez dikhaunga, I'll show you even the future what is going to happen. So in the next 5 verses, Krishna will show Arjuna the future outcome of Kurukshetra war. It also shows the future. So here he sees that who is entering his mouth. Who is entering his mouth? That the great fighters like Bhishma, Drona, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna. These three names are mentioned over here because they are respectable people. They are renowned people. You know. So उसका analogy दिया हुआ है कि they are entering like rivers enter the ocean, whereas the sons of the Dhritarashtra, rest of the kings, they are entering like moths entering the fire. फर्क है ना? That analogy is given. You see moths entering fire and rivers entering the ocean. Because they are such great personality, that is why these two different analogies are given. These two different examples are mentioned given. So it is also mentioned here that Bhishma, who is supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Karna, not only will the great warriors of other party like Bhishma be smashed, but some great warriors of Arjuna's side will also be. And that brings us to that 31st verse where we had stopped last time. So over here, Arjuna is telling Krishna who you are. Who are you? You know, I've always known you as my sweet, dear friend. But यहाँ पे तुम जरा भी sweet नहीं लग रहे हो. मैं देख के मुझे डर लग रहा है. Who are you? I've never seen such millions of horrible looking faces. कभी देखा नहीं मैंने. Look at this. I've never seen millions of these horrible looking faces. Who are you? O Lord of the Lord, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. I do not know what your mission is. And I was mentioning that uh, once a person came to ask, once a person came to me, Prabhupada, and he was saying, Swamiji, you always mention Krishna is sweet, Krishna's pastimes are sweet, and so your Lord has only beautiful face, no other face. You know? doesn't have any ugly face. Then Lord says, if you want to see the ugly face of the Lord, you want to see the ugly face of the Lord, you see the Kal Rupa. You see the Ugra Rupa. You see the Kal Rupa of the Lord. So that is how it is. Like a cat opens the mouth, who gets scared? Rat. Because the rat knows that is the Kal Rupa. That's the graveyard for me. But the same cat, when it opens the mouth in front of the kitten, what does the kitten feel? It's a secure place. Why? Because the cat is going to just pick up the kitten and carry it to the place it wants to go. So that's the difference between devotees and non-devotees. When the non-devotees, they look at the Kal Rupa, they get scared. Yeah, मेरा भी number लगेगा कभी ना कभी. And the devotees, they know it. I'm not this body, but a spirit soul. With effect of time, I have to just change my body. And the Lord will just pick me up like the cat picks up the kitten from one place to another place. The Lord will pick me up from one body to another body. And whether I'm in this body or that body, I will keep serving. That's the mood of a devotee. Doesn't get really bothered by these things. Once there was in this COVID time, once there was a old devotee, female devotee, she passed away. Very nice devotee of the Lord, she passed away due to COVID. So everybody is saying, oh, how come Lord did such an unfair thing? COVID took her. People were grieving about it. But then when there was one sannyasi, he commented, he's like, hey, she was such a great devotee that she left the nasty virus for Krishna. She left the nasty virus for to dance with Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. So that gives another angle to the devotees that we can leave such nasty things to be with Krishna forever. We need not be bothered by these things. So he's requesting, he's saying, Vignantam Ichhami, I want to know what is your purpose? So this brings us to the discussion of today. You can decide this after me. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Kalo Ashmi Lokakshaya Krito Prabidho Kalo Asmi Lokakshaya Krita Prabidho Lokan Samartham Iha Pravita Krite api tvam na bhavishyanti sarve Ye avastita pratannikeshu yodha So Krishna is saying, time I am the destroyer of everything. They say, na, as sure as death. It's a famous statement, as sure as death. So, with the great destroyer of everyone, time I am. There are many people who don't believe in God, but they have to work according to the effect of time. Okay. So, like if you see, where is Napoleon today? Yeah, Napoleon, Hitler, Alexander the Great, who once wanted to conquer the whole world. Where are these people gone? There are big, big empires in this world. Great Britain. Why is it called Great Britain? Because once upon a time used to rule the entire world. Every flag had a Britain flag. But now it's just a small country. So pride doesn't last even for a long time. It gets destroyed with effect of time. So he's saying, so the Kal, that is a time factor, is very, very powerful. It's very powerful in this world. Like, you know the story of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad, right? Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. So Hiranyakashipu would often ask that, where is your God? Where is your God? Prahlad, and you always claim that Vishnu will protect you. So where is your God? So where is Vishnu? Prahlad says, it's there in your heart. Then Hiranyakashipu, no, you tell me, where is he? Is he there in this pillar? But because Hiranyakashipu had made the entire palace and he had made that pillar also. So he knew that he had not put in Narasimhadev inside the pillar. So he's asking, is he there in this pillar? So Allah says, yes, he's there in the pillar. And then Hiranyakashipu takes out the sword and he breaks the pillar and comes out Lord Nrsimhadev. And when Lord Nrsimhadev comes out, Hiranyakashipu sees, my God, this is not a man. This is not even an animal. It's a half man, half lion form. And it's not even day time and it's not even night time. It's not even inside and it's not even outside. Okay, it's not in the air and not in the floor. And he's taken me on his lap and he's trying to open my belly with his hands, with his nails. It's not even Shastra. He's fulfilled all my conditions. Okay, he's fulfilled all my conditions. But that foolish Hiranyakashipu still did not surrender to Narsimhadev. But same thing when happened with Bali Maharaj. What did he do? He surrendered to Vamandev. And but he surrendered to Vamandev. So what Vamandev became the gatekeeper in his planet. Vamandev became the and also got his name added in the 12 Mahajans. But this foolish Hiranyakashipu did not surrender to. That's the Kal Rupa. And that's what time is. So just like you know, we don't understand this that with the effect of time everything will be destroyed. And the Lord is there within our heart also. Sometimes we are searching for pen, but the pen is always in the pocket. We are searching everywhere. Where is the pen? Where is the pen? Similarly, Hiranyakashipu was searching, where is your God? Where is your God? Where is your God? The Lord is there within the heart also. The Lord was there in the pillar also. But he was not able to find it. So Prabhupada mentions that the devotee of the Lord can see the devotee of the Lord can see Krishna everywhere. It's not just at one particular place. He can see everywhere. But a non-devotee cannot see him anywhere. कितना भी कोशिश कर लो, he will not be able to see it. But a non-devotee, atheist will see God at the time of his death. Because Krishna will come as time and take away everything. So he will see him at the time of death. That time he will catch hold of him. So it's very important. So after showing the Vishwarupa and the Kalrupa, now after showing the Vishwarupa and the Kalrupa, now Lord is giving instructions to Arjuna. He's giving instructions. So he's showing the entire Vishwarupa and the Kalrupa to Arjuna, and then he's giving instructions. It's very important once you can we'll recite together. Verse number 33. Tasmat tvamutishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrum bhungshwarajyam samriddham maya te nihata purvam eva nimitta matram bhavya savyasache. So the devotee willingly chooses to be controlled by Krishna. He becomes Krishna's direct instrument. Like in Nimitra Matrena. See, my dear Arjuna, I have already killed these people. I have already killed Dushashan. I have already killed Duryodhana. I've killed all these people. You have already seen it in my mouth. Their heads are hanging. He's saying, तुमने already देख लिया मेरे काल रूप में कि ये सारे लोग मर चुके हैं. You just become an instrument. Nimitra Matena Bhavya Savyasachan. You just become an instrument in my hand and take the hilt. If you remember, I was mentioning one of the classes, Krishna is credit giving God, is not credit taking God. You take the credit. You you fight the battle and you become the instrument to it. You become the instrument in my hand. So it's a golden opportunity. He's telling Arjuna, it's a golden opportunity. Take it with your both hands. Don't miss it. You know? And he's saying that मुझे कोई credit नहीं चाहिए इसके लिए. You can take the credit for it. I don't want to look. So this is a very great lesson we all have to learn. That in our lives we should do our work as if everything depends on us. But after doing the work, we should know ultimately everything depends on Krishna. In the life we should do everything as we should start doing our work as if everything depends on us. But once the work is done, ultimately we should know that everything depends on God. Everything depends on Krishna. So this is the right consciousness. Do your best Let Krishna do the rest. That's the formula. That's what Lord Krishna taught him. Otherwise, you see these warriors. Prabhupada mentions one place Bhishma is said to be equivalent to 25,000 Arjunas. Kitna? Bhishma. The power of Bhishma is equivalent to 25,000 Arjunas. Impossible to defeat him. Impossible. They cannot fight one or two people. They can fight lakhs and lakhs of people in one at one time together. Undefeatable, unconquerable, undefeatable. Bhishma Pitapa had the boon, unconquerable, cannot be defeated. So, कैसे? How will you defeat them? कैसे हराओगे? Not possible. So there is no question of defeating them. But Krishna is empowered. He's empowering Arjuna that you pick up your Gandiva bow. I have given you a Gandiva bow, which is given by. Sorry, you pick up the Gandiva bow. Pashupatra weapon has been given by Shiva. The chariot has been given by Indra. All these empowerment is given to the devotee of the Lord to fight against. Then you just do one thing. I have finished everybody any which ways. You just take the stick and beat the dead snake. Beat the dead snake. गाँव में होता है ना कि हम सांप आ जाता है तो हम सब भाग जाते हैं अपने घर पे ऊपर बैठ जाते हैं फिर बाद में एक फ्रेंड आवाज देता है सांप मर गया है बाद में सब लोग बाहर आते हैं अपनी अपनी स्टिक्स को लेके एंड दे बीट द डेड स्नेक व्हाई डू दे बीट द डेड स्नेक वेयर नेक्स्ट डे दे कैन टेल इन द स्कूल और कॉलेज मैंने कल मारा सांप को है ना अंडरस्टैंड so Krishna is saying that I nimitta matra now you become an instrument in my hand and I've already killed all of these people. You don't have to do anything. I've already killed them. So the devotee willingly chooses to be controlled by Krishna. He becomes Krishna's direct instrument. He becomes Krishna's direct instrument. On the other hand, non-devotees, they tell God, you do what you want, but leave me alone. Non-devotees like, तुम्हें जो करना है करो, but मुझे छोड़ दो. Okay, leave me alone. I want to do what I want to do. Like that was Duryodhan. मैं वही करूँगा जो मैं चाहता हूँ. I will not listen to you. I will not listen to you. So Duryodhan said, at any cost, I want the kingdom. At any cost, I want to finish off Pandavas from this planet. At any cost, I will take away the wife of Pandavas, Draupadi, and keep her on my thighs. That is the devotee. So the non-devotee desires independence from God and is indirectly controlled by Krishna through his material energy, which is Maya. If you are not controlled by Krishna, if you are not controlled by God, then we are controlled by. It is not possible that you are not attracted by something. If you're not attracted by Krishna, you'll be attracted by some Hollywood, Bollywood actor. But you'll be attracted. It is not possible that we are not attracted by something or the other. So everybody in the world becomes attracted to something or the other or somebody. But if you don't get attracted to Krishna, then you get attracted to Maya. That's very simple. ऐसा कोई है ही नहीं जो बोल सकता है I am not attracted. This thing, person, some things. Everybody is attracted. So Arjuna then offers prayers with faltering voice. Faltering voice, matlab his voice is also kind of breaking while speaking. And then he, this is the breakup of the next few verses. He glorifies, from 36 to 38 verse, he glorifies Krishna. Then he offers his obeisances. He apologizes. Yeah, I'll come to this, why he apologizes. And then he requests to show the Saumya Rupa. He requests him to show the 200 form, the Saumya Rupa. Let's recite this verse. Arjuna Vacha स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकृत्य जगत जगत प्रहिष्यति अनुराज्यते रक्ष्यामि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यांति च सिद्धा संघ. So Arjuna is saying the world becomes joyful upon hearing. I'm reading the translation to 36th verse. The world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attracted to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Purport. I'm reading the purport down. I'm reading from here. When Arjuna saw the form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it, but others who were demons and atheists could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear for the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. They all fled. They all ran away. Okay. So this is the situation that they were not able to stand. Arjuna was faltering and the demons were running away from the battlefield. They were not able to see it. Let's decide the 37th verse. कस्माच्चतेन नमिरान् महात्मान् गरीयसे ब्राह्मणोऽपि अधिकृत कर्त्रे कर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वम् अक्षरं सदसत् तत्परं यत्. The very important verses that are there are many important words that are used in this verse. Arjuna is calling Krishna as Mahatman. Mahatman means the one who is a great person, magnanimous, unlimited. He's saying, "Oh, great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator." Okay, he's magnanimous, Ananta, which means there's nothing is which is not in his control. Everything is within his control, unending. Everything is within his control, and he's calling him Devesha. He's calling him Devesha. Of all the, he is the god of all gods. Devi Esha. He's saying Devi Esha, which means he's a master of all 33 crore Devi Devtas. Jagan Nivasha. Jagan Nivasha. Oh, refuge of the universal form. You are the refuge. You are the god of the gods, refuge of the universe. Jagan Nivasha. You are the resting place. Your body is a resting place for everyone. And then he mentions Tvam Aksharam Sad Asat Tat Paramyam. Tvam Aksharam. He's saying you are imperishable. Aksharam. You uh, that means there is no subject of destruction for you. There is no destruction of yours. You are above the material creation, and Sad Asat Tat Paramyam, which means you are the cause of all causes, and you are Param. You are beyond all the causes. So this is very important. I'll read the translation. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances to you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Transcendental to this material manifestation. Like for example, this table is made from wood, which comes from tree. Okay. Similarly, Krishna, like this entire material creation is coming from Mahavishnu. But Krishna is source of Mahavishnu. That is what Arjuna is trying to say. That even the Mahavishnu comes from you, Krishna. You're the source of everything. That is how he is glorifying him. Okay, so Krishna is worshipable. Krishna is the ultimate shelter of everything. He is worshipping. He is glorifying him. My repeated respects unto you thousands of times. Namo namaste astu sahasra kirtva. Let's recite it. Vayuryamognir varuna shashanka. I'm reciting the 39th verse. 39, 11.39. Vayuryamognir varuna shashanka. प्रजापति प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रति प्रति प्रपितामहस्ता प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रतीतामहश्च नमो नमस्तेस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा पुनश्च भूय पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते. He's saying you are the air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, you are the moon, you are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. Prajapati, Pratita, Mahas, he's saying all these. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you thousands of times. Sahasra. Sahasra, the word Sahasra means thousand times. And again, yet again and again. He's saying. From all directions, आगे पीछे सब जगह से I'm offering you my obeisances. You know, in the 40th verse, he's saying that obeisances to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. From all directions, Arjuna is offering obeisances. From all directions. क्या हालत हो गया होगा अर्जुना का, just imagine. Suddenly he realized, my God, स्वयं भगवान है. So this is a section where he asked for forgiveness. Yeah, he's asking for forgiveness. Whatever I did in my madness or love, please forgive me. He's saying, जो भी मैंने मेरा किया पागलपन में, in relationship between, he's like, hey, please forgive me. We'll come to reading the translation of 41 and 42. Okay, let's recite the verses. Sakheti matva prasabhan yaduktam. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. अजनांत महिमानं अजनांत महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि. He's saying, thinking, I'm reading the translation. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you. O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories, please forgive whatever I have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times. You know, sometimes Krishna and Arjuna used to eat together, and Krishna would मतलब एक ही प्लेट में से खाते थे, and he would finish off the food of Arjuna also. And Arjuna would say, "Are you crazy? Even I'm supposed to eat. अभी मैं क्या खाऊंगा?" And he would insult him. So, and I said, "ना, sometimes they would sleep." यहाँ पे लिखा है ना, like the next verse mentions, "यच्चावहर सर्तम असत कृतोसी विहारसयान विहारसयान भोजानेषु एको तवापि अच्युत तत् समक्षम तच्छामये त्वम् अहम अप्रमेयम्." इससे ही हम साथ में सोते भी थे, हम साथ में खाना भी खाते थे. See, he's mentioning that I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. You know, कभी कभार हम कुछ फ्रेंड्स हमारा अच्छा यार भी होता है तो किसी और के सामने टांग खींच देते हैं, you know. But just imagine that turns out to be the supreme personality of God. Just imagine, you don't know. Like, I was giving similar verse once in the temple hall, and I heard the story of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is, you all know Mahatma Gandhi, right? So 2nd October abhi gaya. So he was once, there was one this after this Jallianwala Bagh incident. There was a big meeting which was happening in Chhapra. Where is Chhapra? In Bihar. Okay. So this whole assembly was supposed to be addressed by Gandhi in Chhapra, and so the some of the people उस टाइम पे मीडिया वीडिया इतना एक्टिव नहीं था, मतलब न्यूज़पेपर्स के फोटो वोटो आ जाए, तो नॉट मेनी पीपल हैड आल्सो सीन हु महात्मा गांधी इज, कैसे दिखते हैं, बापू कैसे दिखते हैं। दोस पीपल हु आर in Delhi, they asked, Bapu, should we book one train ticket for you and things like that. I can, no, no, I will book my own ticket. I will, 4 o'clock was the address in Chapra. I will reach Chapra. There's a direct train from Delhi to Chapra. I will take that train and directly reach there. So Gandhi went, and there were, if you have traveled in trains, you will realize that there was first class, second class, and there was a third class also. And in the third class, you will get reservation ticket also. मानो बाकड़ा का सीट आता था, लकड़े का, उसमें भी पहले reservation आता था. Have you, has anybody traveled in that with reservation? पहले आता था. I have traveled in that with reservation, but you get a reservation ticket in that. So Gandhi went, he stood in the line, took the reservation ticket, he got a window ticket, he went and sat on his third class seat, there's wooden benches, and nobody knew, of course, he was Gandhi. So everybody, and the crowd, that day the train was overfilled because everybody was going to attend the rally of address of Gandhi. And so, of course, the third class coach will have third class crowd. So everybody joined, over flooding. People are standing on the roofs, this, that, everywhere. And in this coach also, some young men, some people, there are always some people who are traveling without tickets. Without ticket वाले भी बहुत होते हैं. So अभी भी होते हैं. So we travel. But that day TC was also not going to come because इतना crowd था, कौन जाएगा अंदर. So this without ticket wale ghus gaye, and then we saw this old gentleman sitting weak and very thin, and so they requested him, hey, please get up. So he said, sir, I have a seat to sit here. Arey, you are arguing on us. You shift here, we'll take the window seat. And he agreed. He moved out. Gandhi moved out and he sat on the window seat. And then the train journey started, and these guys were eating tambaku. So after chewing the tobacco, they would spit, and they would not spit outside from the window, but they would spit in the coach only. Okay, so Gandhi was reading a book, and he got a little angry. He's like, hey, no, I gave you my window seat. You could have spit outside, but you are spoiling the floor. So they started threatening him. Right? You are teaching us what we are supposed to do. So he said, okay, and he just tore a page from his book and he cleaned the place. And these guys said, my God, this guy looks like a Mahatma. But then they did continue to ignore him. Again they did that. Again he did that. He cleaned it. This happened 7, 8 times during the journey. And he cleaned it. At the end, the train reached Chapra. Everybody got down at Chapra. Everybody is supposed to get down at Chapra. Gandhi thought, I will go Ashanti se because there's so much of crowd on the station. I will get down in the last. So he's waiting. He's waiting. Now on the station also, some people had come to welcome Gandhi because some knew that Bapu was also coming in the train lane, but doesn't know which coach and which seat number. जनरली हम ट्रैवल करते हैं, कोई हमें लेने आता तो हम क्या करते हैं, सर फ्लाइट नंबर और ये मेरा ट्रेन नंबर, ये मेरा बर्थ और ये मेरा कोच. और नहीं आता है कोई लेने वाला टाइम पे, तो वी स्टार्ट गेटिंग इरिटेटेड. गांधी डिड नॉट इवन से दैट मैं कौन से कोच में ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ, कौन सा मेरा सीट नंबर है, कौन सा मेरा बर्थ नंबर है, कुछ पता नहीं. सो पीपल, एंड ही इज आल्सो वंडरिंग फ्रॉम इनसाइड, क्राउड अभी भी क्यों है स्टेशन पे, लोग जा क्यों नहीं रहे हैं. But so these youngsters also got down at Chhapra, and they got to know that Bapu is also on the same train. They were, and while going also, they were all talking about Gandhi only, not knowing that Gandhi is sitting somewhere. When they got down at the station, they realized that Gandhi is also traveling the same train, and some person had come to receive them. The person who had come to receive, a group of 2, 3 people, they were running from one end of the coach to another end of the coach, trying to find out where is Mahatma Gandhi. And finally, time passed by a little bit, and then Mahatma Gandhi thought, okay, chalo, I'll have to get down now. So he got down, and this person who was standing searching for Gandhi, he could see from there, hey, Bapu is in that coach, and then they all ran that side. These youngsters also ran behind them. When they reached there, they guarded Bapu, and they asked him that, hope the train journey was fine. And Gandhi saw those youngsters behind them, and they were also looking at him. ऐसे करके. He said, "Yes, absolutely fine. It was just a little crowded." And looking at the humility of Gandhi, those youngsters were sold to Gandhi for that movement. So this was a situation of Arjuna. Suddenly you realize, this was यही भगवान है. My God, this is my friend. इसके साथ में खा रहा था, इसके साथ में सो रहा था. I called him by different names. I was fooling around with him, but he is actually Supreme Personality of God. Similarly, even in our Vaishnav dealings, we should be very careful. You don't know who is who. Anything important happening there? So we should be very careful as to what is how we are dealing with people, because you don't know who is who. Of course, स्वयं भगवान तो नहीं हो सकते, but सबके अंदर प्रभु है, and everybody is also devotee of the Lord. We may offend. When we offend devotees, our bhakti gets destroyed. That's the most riskiest thing. If you offend devotees, if you offend Vaishnavas, our bhakti gets destroyed, and that is the most dangerous thing. So Krishna is telling him that only. Arjuna remembers his friendly relationship with Krishna, meaning the purport, and is therefore asking pardon and requesting Krishna to excuse him for the many informal gestures which arise out of friendship. He is admitting that formally he did not know that Krishna could assume such a universal form. Although Krishna explained it as his intimate friend, Arjuna did not know how many times he may have dishonored Krishna by addressing him, "Oh my friend, oh Krishna, oh Yadava," etc., without acknowledging his opulence. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that in spite of such opulence, he played with Arjuna as a, just imagine, still played with Arjuna. Such is a transcendental loving reciprocation between devotee and the Lord. The relationship between the living entity and Krishna is fixed eternally. It cannot be forgotten, as we can see from the behavior of Arjuna. Although Arjuna has seen the opulence in the universal form, he cannot forget his friendly relationship with Krishna. So we all have an eternal relationship with the Lord. Like Arjuna had a Sakhya, thus with the Supreme Lord. He still cannot forget his friendly dealings with Krishna. But uh, after seeing the universal form, also he's seeing that, oh, he's my friend. He's my friend. So he's seeing this things. So Krishna's incomparable prowess, Krishna's body, mind, senses, soul are one. There is no difference between them. He mentions in the 43rd verse. He calls him as Pitama. You can recite this verse. Pita Shilokasya Characharasya Tvam Asya Pugyasya Guru Nigaryan Natvat Samosti Abhyadhika Kutonyo Lokatraypi Apratima Prabhava. So he's calling Krishna as his father. This is the translation. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of moving and non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. Supreme spiritual master also. Guru also. No one is equal to you. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. Again, destroying the Mayavad philosophy. We'll become one with God. You'll always have the individuality. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? 44th verse. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadaye tvam aham ishamedyam पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव साख्यु प्रिया प्रियार्षि देवासो प्रिया प्रियाहर्षि देवासोधुम. He's saying, just like a father will always forgive a son, sakhe sakheyu, friend may forgive another friend for his mistake. Priya Priyarshi, he's saying a lover will forgive the beloved out of intimate relationship. Similarly, I request you kindly forgive me, Krishna, for my informal dealings. He's saying, for my informal dealings, I have done with you before. You please forgive me. That is why I'm asking you for pranamya. I'm offering my obeisances to you. So after seeing this universal form, Arjuna requests Krishna to come back to his armed form. Okay, although there are innumerable forms of the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna is original. So I am both gladdened and frightened seeing your universal form. I wish to see your four-armed form. So he's asking him to come back in his four-armed form, that is the Vishnu roop, and then into armed form. So let's recite the 45th verse. अदृष्टपूर्वं वृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देव रूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. After seeing this universal form which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as a personality of Godhead, O Lord of the Lords, O abode of the universe. Purport. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is very dear friend, and as a dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence, Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the supreme personality of God and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing the universal form, he's afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjuna is therefore asking Krishna to show his Narayan form because he can assume any form. This universal form is material, temporary, as the material world is. But in Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form, which with four hands as Narayana. Then comes the 46th verse. Kritinam Gandhinam Chakra Hastam इच्छामि त्वं द्रष्टुम् अहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते. He's saying purport में. In the Brahma Samhita it is stated, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms. The main forms are like Rama, Narasimha, Narayana. These are innumerable forms. But Arjuna knew that Krishna is the original personality of God, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayan as spiritual form. And then Prabhupada mentions is all these forms that Krishna comes in. He's always fresh like a young man. He's always fresh like a young man. So, in response to Arjuna's question, Krishna will now comfort him with withdrawing his universal form and reveal his pleasant four-armed, and then a two-armed form. First, he reveals a four-handed form and then a two-armed form. He will also describe bhakti to be supreme process to see any of the forms. See, Arjuna in the mood of a bhakta is able to see any form, whereas one who's not a devotee can already see the universal form. You know? And those who are demons, they to run away, even looking at the universal form. So the most intimate feature of the absolute truth is two-handed, two-armed form of Shri Krishna. The form is known through devotional service. So the universal form is Durdasham. It's rare. But Krishna is saying that the two-handed form is even more rare. Is Sudurdasham. He'll mention this in the 52nd verse. That how it is even more rare. It is not just rare, but it is even more rare. So sometimes people may think that what is so rare about this two-handed form? The Krishna has shown this two hand. Krishna was in front of, Duryodhan, Dushasan, Shakuni. Dhritarashtra also at one point of time got the vision to see it. So what's so rare about this two-handed form? Why is it so rare? Uh, because the two-handed form of Krishna is a source of Vishwarupa. Okay, it's a source of Vishwarupa. From the two-hand form comes the Chaturbhuja, and from the two-hand form only comes the Vishwarupa. Okay, so so two-hand form comes in Narayan form, and that is the truth, not known to people of the world. Many people think that Krishna is one of the Dasha avatars of Vishnu. That is what people have a misunderstanding. Hence, to clarify that, it is very important that the two-hand form of the Lord is the original form, and from that comes Chaturbhuja, and from that comes even the Vishwarupa. And only the bhaktas who are blessed by Krishna with the Prema Chakshu can see it, not with Divya Chakshu. That's why Arjuna was already able to see the two-handed form of the Lord. Okay, Arjuna was already able to see the two-handed form of the Lord. Hence, therefore, to see Krishna, we need Prem Chakshu. Right now, we are not able to see Krishna. That's why we see marble deities. Two-handed ही है, but दिखता नहीं है हमारे सामने because Prem Chakshu नहीं है. We are not able to see that. And we don't see many subtle things also. There are Devi Devtas also in and around. We don't see that because Divya Chakshu. We are on material senses. So Divya Chakshu is the vision of the demigods. Prema Chakshu is seeing the two-handed form of the Lord, the original form of the Lord. And that's the two-handed form of the Lord. So, yeah. 47 and 49 mentions rarity of seeing Krishna's universal form. 50 to 51, Krishna reveals the four-handed form, and 21 conclusion. He mentions this. So that brings us to. So, dear Arjuna, I have shown you this form. Now, no one before you has ever seen such a primal form. Talking about the universal form. No one has seen this form because he's also mentioning that. That brings us to the 400 form. We can come to the 50th verse. Now Sanjaya is revealing these things. Sanjaya Vacha Iti Arjunam Vasudevasthathokva Swakam Rupam Darshayam Ashabhuya Ashvashayam Ashacha Bhutam Enam Bhitam Enam Bhutva Puna Saumya Vapur Mahatma. It's Saumya Rupa, it's Saumya Vapur. It's a beautiful form. Sanjay is saying, Supreme Messenger of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-handed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Arjuna was fearful, so he encourages him to please fight. And Arjuna, seeing that form again, he regains his composure. This is the two-handed form of the Lord. First, he shows the four-handed form, and then he shows the two-handed form. Is this clear? Vishwarupa to four-handed to two-handed. Four-handed is the Narayan form. Narayan in Vaikuntha or Vaikuntha, you go to Tirupati Balaji, Balaji Vishnu stands in four-handed form. Narayan also has four-handed form. Vaikuntha, if you go to Vaikuntha planet, Vishnu is having this form with four hands. देखा है ना? आपने pictures में कभी देखा होगा. But if you go to Golok Vrindavan, Krishna is like this with two-handed form. Okay. This is a very important verse. Shri Bhagwan Vacha. Sududasham idam rupam. Vishwam asiyan mam. Vishwam asiyan mama. Devapi asya rupasya. Nityam darshana kankshana. So he's saying this is Sududarsham, my dear Arjuna, this two-handed form which I showed you. Now it is even more rare than the Vishwarupa. Okay, Vishwarupa form. Vishwam Asiyas Mama. He's saying it's even more rare than the Vishwarupa. Who is hankering to see this form? Nityam Darshana Kankshita. Everybody is, even who is anchoring Deva Api Asya Rupasya. Deva, the Devi Devtas like Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, they are also hankering to see this two-handed form of the Lord. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one chapter which is called as Garbhastuti, okay, wherein when Devki was carrying Krishna in the womb, uh, all these demigods, Shiva, Brahma, Chandra, they all wanted to come and take darshan of Krishna, but they could not see Krishna, but they could see that Devki has become very beautiful and there is a glow on her face. And then they all offer prayers to Devki. They all offer prayers to the womb of Devki. They all offer their pranams to the womb of Devki. You know, uh, so the devtas are praying to Krishna in the womb of Devki. When Krishna is in the womb of Devki, he is praying that your form, your qualities, your name cannot be understood by any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Cannot be understood by any random person. Okay, but those people who are doing what? Those people who are doing Deva Kriyam, devotional service, devotional service, they can understand. So Arjuna is a devotee; he can understand you. Like the Devtas are saying in the Garbhastuti. They are mentioning this in the Garbhastuti. You can recite this. Nana, you can recite this after me. It's not there anywhere. Nana me rupe guna janma karma bhir. Janma karma bhir. Nirukti niruktva tasya sakhina. Nirukti tasya sakshena. Mano vachobhyam anumeya vartamano. अनुमेय वर्तमानो देवा क्रियायां प्रतियान्ति अथापि. So this is that verse in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam where they are doing Garbha Stuti. They are saying that those who are doing Deva Kriyayam, devotional service, they can understand it. They can understand. And Arjuna is able to understand this form of the Lord because he is your devotee. Okay, like when Krishna appears, Shiva also comes to meet Krishna in Vrindavan. You know that in disguises in the form of a Yogi Baba. You know, he comes in the form of a Yogi Baba and he comes with his Damru. He comes to Nanda Bhavan, you know, and playing his Damru. But he's got a very fierce form. He's having big jata till the top. In his jata, there are some, you know, scorpions. There is a snake on his neck. His whole body is covered with ashes. You know, and when he comes to the house of Nanda Maharaj, uh, Yashoda stops him and asks him, Baba, where you want to go? Like, I want to see your Lala. Like, if my Lala sees you, he'll become very frightened. So then Yashoda Maya gives him a lot of chapatis, 20, 21 chapatis. He gives like, Baba, you take this and please go. And so Shiva takes that and in the hope that he will once get to take darshan of Krishna, he goes and resides in a place nearby. And that place is called as Asheshwar Mahadev. Ashesh मतलब आशा करना कि मुझे कभी तो भगवान के दर्शन मिलेंगे. Asheshwar Mahadev. It's still there. When you come to Vrindavan with us in November, we'll go there. Close to Nandagaon, there is Asheshwar Mahadev. It's a Shiv Lingam. And there he is waiting that, oh, I'll get to meet. But after Shiva leaves, what happens? Krishna starts crying profusely. All the gopis in Vrindavan, Braj, they all come there. One by one, they start trying to make Lala stop from crying. But they cannot do that. Then some elderly gopi comes and she says, it looks like somebody has put a bad eye on your son. So it's like, who came since morning? So Yashoda Maya mentions these all people came, and there this Yogi Baba also came. So it's like, he must be the one. Please find him. So they all the gopis go out in Braja and they try and find out where this Baba is. And then they bring him back. And then Yashoda, when they bring him back, the Baba comes in front of Yashoda and Yashoda Maya says that my Lala is crying a lot. Like, just give me one darshan of Lala. And as soon as she would open the door, Krishna would be on the bed and and Shiva would be on the door looking at Shiva. Krishna would start laughing, stop crying and start laughing. As soon as she would close the door, again he would start crying. Again she would open the door, he would start laughing. Again he would close the door, he start crying. Like he just put once your the feet of your child on my head, on my jata. Like there are scorpions in your jata, and there is a snake in your neck. How do you want me to put the hand of my child? Like just do that. So then one and you're holding a trishul and it's very fierce form. Then Shiva goes inside and takes Krishna on his. But no, then Yashoda Maya gets Krishna outside and he puts on the head of Shiva, okay? And he completely stops crying, and Shiva becomes very happy, so much happy. That's why Shiva, and he requests that every time, no, no, so then he becomes very, very happy. Okay? And then Yashoda says that, whenever she says this, रे रे योगी नंद भवन में व्रज में वसन कीजिए, जब जब मेरा लाला रोए तब तब दर्शन दीजिए. So like, what about Nanda Bhavan? I'll reside in your Angan only. That is why if you see in Nandagaon, just outside the palace, there's a Shiv Linga. But my condition is that you daily offer some of his Charnamrit to me. So that is why daily, after bathing the Lord in the morning in Nandagaon, that Shiv Linga is offered Charnamrit. And if you see otherwise also, Krishna, Shiva holds the Ganga on his jata, which is coming from the feet of Vishnu. Is a Charnamrit. So that's the so Krishna is saying, who is wanting such a darshan? Nityam darshana kamshani. Who is asking for a deva apiyasya rupasya? Although Devi Devatas are also desiring for such a darshan. It's so rare. It's so rare. All these Devi Devatas also wanting to get such a darshan. This form cannot be understood even by the study of the Vedas or tapasya, dan or giving charity. Nothing will work. These things will not help you. What will help you? Sakhya evam vido drashtum, drishtvam asimam upadya. So this form cannot be understood simply by Vedic study, penances, charity. You can decide this verse after me. 53 words. Naham vede na tapasya, nadani na chej yaya. Sakhya evam vido drashtum, drishtvam asimam yatha. So Krishna is saying the form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Then how can he see him? That's the next verse. Bhaktyatva ananya shakhya aham evam vidojana Gnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Only by devotional service. Undivided devotional service. Ananya Shakya. He's saying is by undivided devotional service can you understand me. And then Krishna concludes the 55th, Krishna concludes the 11th chapter by the 55th verse. Okay, it's a very verse. This is a very beautiful verse, very important. Again, he summarizes on devotional service. मत कर्म कृन मत परमो मत भक्त संग वर्जिता निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु यस्मामेति पांडव. He says sangha varjita, freed from contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation. So, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in pure devotional service My pure devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, because everybody is my sarva bhuteshu nirvaiva sarva bhuteshu, everybody is my amsha. He certainly comes to again in assurance, time and again Krishna gives us assurance, again and again he gives an assurance. So if you're a poor man, you can still offer a flower from a garden to the Lord. If you are a rich man, you can build a temple for the Lord. So in any ways, you can serve the Lord. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, within what state of situation you are, but you can always become a devotee of the Mat Paramo. You can always become a devotee of the Supreme Lord. There is no way you cannot become. So it's a very nice purport. Prabhupada gives a very big purport, but then we can summarize this in the end. You can come to the last page. In that, he gives a summary. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is a temporary manifestation, and the form of time, which devours everything, and even the form of Vishnu, four handed, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all manifestations. It is not that Krishna is manifestation of the original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. That means Krishna body possesses all the avatars: Matsya, Kurma, Keshava, Narahari Rupa, Keshava, Matsya Rupa, Keshava, Kurma Rupa, every. It's not like just one or two forms, all the forms are coming from him. Matsya, Kurma, Vara, Narshima, Buddha, Balram, everybody is coming from Chaturbhuja, everything. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important, but the original two-handed Shyam Sundar. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to Shyam Sundar form of Krishna is love and devotion, can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of the 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. So you will get to see this Shyam Sundar form in Vrindavan if you come with us. Because the deities in the Krishna Balram temple are Radha Shyam Sundar. You'll also go to get to Nandagaon, you'll also get to go to Asheshwar Mahadev and actually see that Shivji over there who is still waiting for Krishna's darshan. So all these things are possible when you come and join us for the yatras. That brings us to the conclusion of this chapter. This is what we studied. First, Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal his form if he feels appropriate. Then Krishna, because Arjuna surrenders and he's asking with a lot of humility, Krishna reveals the universal form, and then he offers prayers because of, first of all, he glorifies him, he offers astonishment, and then he offers his prayers, and then again apologizes for his informal behavior. And then he says that, okay, I'm very scared now. Can you please again reveal your armed form? So the Krishna shows him this Chaturbhuja form, that is a Narayan form, and then he comes back to his human-like form, which is the two-handed form, which is even so rare that even the Devi Devatas are hankering to see it, but they don't get to see it. So here is a chance for you to see it. If you can join us for Vrindavan, you'll get a chance to see it. Give up your schedules, whatever plans you have except for your exams and job, come to Vrindavan. That's the best place you can be. Any questions? Yes, Pratham. Mhm. Yeah, universal form is temporary. No? It is not. It is being displayed by the Lord to at the request of Arjuna. It is not permanent. It's a material form. It's not a spiritual form. The universal form, Vishwarupa, is a material form. It is not a spiritual. Krishna doesn't stay in this form forever. Okay, it is. It contains all material elements. No? It's a form which is available at a request. Vishnu's original form is two-handed form. That's his spiritual form. It is a material form. That is why material है तो temporary है, right? And Savyasachin refers, purport में लिखा है, Savyasachin refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill enemies. So he's saying, because you're such an expert warrior, you become an instrument in my hand to kill all these people. One of the names of Arjuna is Sabyasachi, not the designer Sabyasachi. Shamsundar Rupa is the original form of the Lord. Sorry, which needs the prema eyes, you're saying? Huh. See, yes. Of course, you cannot see the original form of the Lord in the Divya Chakshu. The Devi Devatas are not able to see it. That is why they have Divya Chakshu. Yes, that is why it is higher. You need love to see that universal form of the Lord. Sorry, the two-handed form of the Lord. Any more questions? Okay, no more questions. So next Sunday, we'll be continuing with the chapter number 12, which is about devotional service, very important chapter. Most probably it will be given by His Grace Narottam Priya Prabhu. So please be there and please be there on time. Try to come on time, 11 o'clock, 11:15 max. It's very nice. And carry your Bhagavad Gita copies, it's good. And one more request is please read it regularly. So don't miss the 12th chapter. And how many of you have already registered? I've heard that many have registered for Vrindavan. How many of you have registered for Vrindavan Yatra? Can you please raise your hand fully? सब लोग साथ में बैठेंगे यहाँ पे मुझे इजी हो जाएगा यहाँ पे पूछने के लिए आप हाथ उठाइए रजिस्टर नहीं किया हाँ जो लोग आ रहे हैं वृंदावन हाथ उठाइए वे और हाथ और ऊपर हो गए अच्छा ठीक है क्यों नहीं आ रहे आप बाकी लोग क्यों नहीं आ रहे प्रणव जगुजा व्हाई यू नॉट कमिंग हाँ व्हेन you are pardoned there is no option in that genuine case anybody else like verse to 10 exam किसी का exam pardon exam how are you एग्जाम है सेम फर्स्ट टू 10 में तो कब है नवंबर अक्टूबर खत्म हो रहा है अच्छा और कोई बाकी पीछे तो लोग जॉब करते हैं ना क्यों नहीं आ रहे आप शिवम व्हाई यू नॉट कमिंग हाँ यू आल्सो वर्किंग ना हाँ यू नॉट वर्किंग व्हाट आर यू डूइंग व्हाई यू नॉट कमिंग व्हेन फर्स्ट टू 10 3rd November how many have exams on that exactly that day मतलब वही थर्ड फर्स्ट टू 12th नवंबर किस किस का एग्जाम है हाउ राइट आप क्यों नहीं आ रहे आ रहे अच्छा फैमिली के परमिशन पे जिएंगे तो कब तक जिएंगे हम और आप क्यों नहीं आ रहे हाँ जॉब तभी स्टार्ट हो रहा है तो उसको बोल सकते हैं ना मैं एक हफ्ते के बाद आऊँगा स्टार्ट हो तो अच्छा है ना वी कैन टेल देम आफ्टर सम टाइम जेंटलमैन मराठी माणूस क्यों नहीं आ रहे आप क्यों नहीं आए क्या काय दुविधा है what is the problem what is the difficulty बोलिए करिए ना कंफर्म. It is hardly 2 weeks. Again, I'm telling you, again, it's just a matter of you at the end आपका इच्छा होगा आने के लिए फिर सीट्स नहीं होगा ये नहीं होगा वो नहीं होगा बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. It's better that you just confirm yourself and come for it as soon as possible. मतलब it'll be very nice rather than just मतलब कब तक ऐसे चलेगा. वैसे मेरा बोलने का तरीका वो है. You stop the camera ना.